What's up everyone, and welcome back to 10 Binge. Today we're counting down the top 10 best must-watch upcoming movies that are dropping in the next few months of 2025. If you love movies and want to stay ahead of what's coming to theaters or streaming, this list is definitely for you. So let's jump right into it. For number 10, I Know What You Did Last Summer is making a comeback on July 18th. This new installment brings back the suspense and thrills of the original with a fresh cast and some familiar faces. The story follows 5 friends who, after a fatal accident, decide to keep it a secret. But a year later, someone knows what they did and is out for revenge. As the mysterious figure hunts them down, they realize that their past actions have deadly consequences. To survive, they seek help from survivors of the infamous Southport Massacre of 1997. The film aims to honor the original while introducing new twists and turns that will keep audiences on the edge of their seats. If you're looking for a thrilling ride that blends classic horror vibes with modern storytelling, I Know What You Did Last Summer might be worth checking out when it hits theaters this July. Moving to number 9. Weapons is one to watch out for. Dropping in theaters this August 8th, it's a tense, slow-burn thriller with some seriously creepy vibes, and it's already got people talking. The story starts with a shocking event. Every single kid from one classroom vanishes without a trace on the same night. Except for one. Just one child remains, and no one, not the parents, the cops, or even the media, can explain how or why. As the community scrambles for answers, things only get weirder, and what starts as a missing persons case slowly turns into something much darker. The film leans into that unsettling feeling of not knowing who to trust, and the more the town digs, the more it feels like they're dealing with something beyond their control. So yeah, if you're into smart horror with mystery and intensity, Weapons should definitely be on your radar this August. Now, number 8. The Long Walk. So here's one that sounds simple on the surface, but it's actually super intense, which coming out on September 12th, and it's a full ride at 1 hour and 45 minutes. The plot? A group of teenage boys take part in this annual event called The Long Walk, which sounds like a normal endurance thing, but nope. The rules are brutal. They have to keep walking at a certain speed. If they slow down or stop, they get shot. Yeah, no second chances. It's not just about staying on your feet, it's about pushing your mind and body way past the limit. As the miles go by, friendships get tested, dark secrets come out, and the line between competition and survival blurs. And there's only one winner. Everyone else. Well, let's just say it doesn't end well for them. Based on a story by Stephen King, so if you're into dystopian stories with a psychological edge, this one's gonna hit hard. For number 7. The Naked Gun is back, this one if you're in the mood for something totally ridiculous in the best way possible, which hitting theaters on August 1st, bringing that old-school slapstick comedy energy, but with a modern twist that totally leans into the chaos. At the center of it all is one man. Yeah, that guy who somehow ends up being the only person qualified, or not, to lead the police squad and save the day. He's got, let's say, a unique set of skills. Not the kind you'd expect from a top cop, but that's what makes it hilarious. Expect over-the-top action, deadpan delivery, and absurd moments that come at you fast. This reboot doesn't take itself seriously, and that's the point. And yep, Liam Neeson is taking on the lead role, which already sounds insane, but somehow works. So The Naked Gun is definitely one to catch this August. Next up, number 6. Tron Ares is dropping on October 10th, where the story centers on Ares, not your typical hero, but a super advanced program. He's not just running code or bouncing around a computer world, he's actually being sent out into our world, and yeah, it's just as dangerous as it sounds. Real stakes, real consequences, and a mission that could change everything. The Tron series has always been known for its wild visuals and deep tech vibes, but this one's cranking it up with a darker, more grounded feel. It's about what happens when the lines between digital and real completely blur, and whether a program like Ares can survive or even understand the chaos of the human world. And with a fresh story and updated style, this feels like a bold step forward for the Tron universe. So yeah, this be the one you don't want to miss this October. Moving to number 5. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. The next chapter is back and hitting theaters on November 14th, but this time the magic tricks are bigger, the stakes are higher, and the team? Well, it's not just the old crew anymore. It all kicks off with a slick diamond heist that pulls the original Horsemen out of retirement. But they're not doing it alone. Joining the Illusion game are some fresh faces, Greenblatt, Smith, and Sessa. They're younger, sharper, and just as full of tricks as the veterans. Together, this new generation teams up with the legends to go after some seriously dangerous criminals. It's not just about stealing diamonds, it's about exposing the kind of people who think they're untouchable. Expect crazy visuals, impossible illusions, and that classic blend of magic meets heist energy. This one is about to pull off its biggest trick yet this November. Coming up next, number 4. The Conjuring Last Rites drops on September 5th, and it looks like this might be Ed and Lorraine Warren's final showdown with the supernatural. After years of battling the darkest forces out there, the Warrens are called in for one last case. And yeah, it's not your average haunting. This time, they're up against something way more mysterious and way more personal. The kind of evil that doesn't just scare, it sticks with you. You can feel the weight in this one, the tension, the fear, and that sinking feeling that maybe the Warrens won't walk away the same. It's less about jump scares and more about that creeping dread you can't shake. If you've been following their journey through all the Conjuring films, this one feels like the final chapter that's been slowly building all along, which makes this one's a must-watch in September. Now, number 3. The Old Guard 2 is dropping on July 2nd, and it's ready to bring the fight back in a big way. This time, Andy and her team of immortal warriors are facing a new, super dangerous enemy who's out to destroy everything they've been protecting. But just when things seem clear, a twist hits. A long-lost immortal suddenly reappears, and that shakes everything up. Suddenly, their mission to keep humanity safe becomes way more complicated than they expected. The stakes are higher, the battles are more intense, and the team has to deal with old wounds and secrets coming back to haunt them. If you loved the first movie's mix of epic fight scenes and deep emotional moments, this sequel promises even more of that. So, if you're down for badass immortals kicking serious butt while trying to figure out who to trust, The Old Guard 2 is definitely one to watch this summer. As for number 2, Predator Badlands is coming out on November 7th, and it's bringing a fresh twist to the saga. As we follow a young predator who's been kicked out of his clan, he's on his own, roaming the wilds. But what makes it interesting is that he teams up with someone unexpected. Together, they're on a hunt, but not just any hunt. He's searching for the ultimate enemy, the one worthy of his skills and determination. It's a journey full of danger, wild landscapes, and tense moments where trust is everything. You get that classic Predator mix of savage action and the raw struggle of survival, but with a new character and a fresh storyline that shakes things up. So if you want to see a story about an outcast fighting to prove himself, with all the thrills and suspense you expect from the Predator universe, this November is your month. And finally, number 1 on the list. Nobody 2 is coming out on August 15th, and it's back with more edge and non-stop action. The first movie was crazy, so I am so excited for this one because we're right back with Hutch Mansell, the seemingly normal suburban dad who's actually a former deadly assassin. After he stops a home invasion, things get way more intense than just bruised egos. His violent past drags him right back in, and suddenly, secrets start popping up. Not just about him, but about his wife Becca too. It's not just fists flying here, it's a wild ride that digs into the layers of their pasts, showing that there's a lot more to this family than meets the eye. Hutch has to protect what matters while facing old enemies, and it's clear that the quiet life isn't really an option anymore. So I'm sure Nobody 2 is going to be a thrill from start to finish this August. And that's my top upcoming movies for 2025. Which one are you excited for? Drop a comment. Also, if you missed it, check out my other video on the most awaited summer 2025 movies. It's a totally different list. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And see you guys next time.